inspirational and very, very encouraging that those who have walked through this path can certainly come and tell us that it is possible. And I hope that, to the young people here, and as well as, in as much as we are still not young, we still have big dreams as well. Everybody's got dreams. We are all inspired, to pursue that, not only within Botswana, but also throughout the continent. So thank you as well, very much from Mr. Samuel Sif. I'm sure all the estate agents, when they saw the turnover of 15 billion, they were calculating how much that is. And it is certainly possible. I try to do the numbers quick, but you certainly can know that your future or your retirement will well be into place. And that's the beauty about real estate. You land one good deal and you invest it quite well, you are certainly on for a good run with your wealth and the wealth creation. Just by introduction, it's always quite awkward when you introduce yourself. But I guess today, when I thought about it, when you're meeting your partner and they say, tell us about yourself. So I'll put that in my imagination. My name is Bakam Palai. I'm the founder of Little Property Group. Little Property Group is a 100% citizen-owned entity that focuses on real estate development in the commercial space, shopping malls, offices, and the likes. Of recent, we've taken an intentional approach, looking more into social impact investments. And of recent, for the past 3 years, we'll be focusing a lot on affordable housing space, with projects starting very soon. We also do portfolio and asset management, as well as transactional advisory. I'm also the co-founder of Segodi Auctions, which focuses on movables and immovables properties in Botswana and growing into Africa. I'm also the founder of 315 Luxury Stores, with one of our first stores being in Pakalani. I'm sure you've seen the stores. So that's one of our retail chain stores that we've started and we're growing on. So in short, I'm an entrepreneur, studied at UCT. I see some of my colleagues I used to study with, so they will test that I did pass, we did finish. You know how it is sometimes when you say you've studied somewhere. So I did study at UCT, and as well, I'm a Mandela Washington Fellow, studying at the University of Reno in America through the Business and Entrepreneurship Program. I will, at this juncture, allow my panelists to introduce themselves, and then we'll take it from there. I'll start with you, Rizwana, from there.
Thank you so much, Bakang, and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Rizwana Sebeho. I'm from Botswana Housing Corporation, BHC. I'm the sales manager based in Gaborone. I heard Bakang saying he was from a certain university. Maybe also I should mention that I'm from Oxford Brookes University, and it's good that some of the people here are actually from Oxford Brookes, and they can attest to the fact that I indeed did enroll for that. Yeah, thank you so much.
Marilyn?
Marilyn Mosha, based in Zimbabwe, working for a development company called West Property Zimbabwe. We are basically mainly developing residential properties, but we've got retail assets as well. A mother of one, a daughter of a planner, Professor Mosha, who I see familiar faces that know him that are here. He taught at University of Botswana for a very long time. Mother is an accountant, and I've got one son. I don't see any university colleagues here, so I'm not gonna say which university I went to, so that's fine.
Yeah, right. Charles Lalonde, I'm the MD at Tredinic and a company called Applebee's, and it sort of spans across sales, letting, PM, development, and consultancy services in the property space. That's what we do.
Thank you very much for the introduction to the panelists. Our topic today is on affordable housing in Botswana and cross-border, as well as the investment opportunities within the sector. Prior to maybe when we start the topic, there's a whole lot of different meanings in regards to what is an affordable housing. I'll just say a few of them, and then we take it from there. Some describe affordable housing as housing that a household can pay for while they still have money left over for the necessity, like food, transportation, and healthcare. Affordable housing as well, another definition, is the appropriate pricing that households are able to meet their basic needs, being transport, medical care, and education. underlying pricing. Affordable housing as well. It's housing that the rental, it's affordable within the market. The pricing, it's affordable within the market. So with the topic, and which has always been a gray area, there's always that question in terms of what is affordable housing. Some have looked at it from a pricing point of view. Some have looked at it from a rental point of view. Some have looked at it from a social impact point of view, putting in some of the futures like green futures. I'm just going to put a fact before I go to my panelists for the first question, specifically focusing in Botswana. This as well, the information I get from the newspaper, so if perhaps I don't put the right facts, I will be corrected. There is a backlog of over 700,000 plots in Botswana, meaning that people who are waiting to be given land. Out of that, 11% is state land, 89% is tribal land. It will require over 94 billion to service those and the ability to afford people housing. So just by putting these facts, which I said as well, I picked up from one of our local newspapers, which I believe they were quite, they put facts there. We have no choice in terms of the ability that this is in demand. And going back to my first question will be to yourself, Huitzi, being with BHC, maybe perhaps just take us through in terms of how BHC has been able in that space to assist in regards to providing housing to Botswana, some of the challenges that you have come through, and the future in regards to that, from a BHC point of view.
Thank you so much, Bakang, for that question. Maybe before I go into the question, let me just share that as BHC, we are a parastatal that is owned by government, and that is mandated to be a house in the nation. In terms of affordable housing, as you were asking, as BHC, we do not have an approach where we feel one size fits all. When it comes to affordable housing, we look into the issue of segmentations. As earlier, I think as it was alluded to by one of the speakers, he did say that we do have new entrants, for example, when he was referring to women now getting into the business of property, when he was referring to the millennials also getting into that space. For us as BHC, affordable housing doesn't only speak to the price. We are also speaking of issues of decent accommodation, habitable accommodation. Because just having the four walls and a roof over your head does not really account to you being fully accommodated. From the issue of what as BHC, what have we done? Maybe I'll take you back to the fact that as BHC, over the years, we've sold around 18,000 plus units to Botswana. And currently we have a portfolio of 10,000 plus, which is mainly made of low-income earners bracket. That's been commonly called low cost. So from the 10,000, you realize that we have at least a 50% in houses which are low cost, followed by the medium cost, which normally range at around 15%, of the units that we have. And why am I sharing this information? It's just for the house to appreciate that as BHC, we do appreciate that affordability varies for each segment. We do know that different people have different capabilities in terms of affordability. What have us as BHC also done? I would say if we look at recently, we also have tapped into the market of youth, where we had said the youth need to also be accommodated for. And through that, we have built some units. I believe most of you here have seen them, which are in Solofelo East and Solofelo West, where we built 372 units, and we also built 264 units as our second batch. And from that, as BHC, our aim there was to say expectation was maybe we would have a third of that being purchased by the youth. However, results have shown us that indeed the youth are hungry and the youth are ready to be homeowners. 70% was indeed purchased by the youth, which proves to you that there is a shift that was earlier on alluded to by the speaker to say we should be looking into the change of trends, because it has been proven through that maybe we need to also focus more into the youth, which is what BHC now is taking a step forward in to say, if we have sold 70% of this to the youth, then we need to build more targeted to the youth. In future, you will see in the likes of in Block 7, we will be building more units that will be more targeted to the youth. Yes, we have learnings, and which we accept, because with every project, we go back and get information on where did we go wrong or where can we improve. So definitely we would be seeing us moving into that space to say, as BHC, this is now what the product that we are going to be bringing to the youth. Maybe before I give it back to you also, affordable housing seems to be more geared to us maybe talking of sales. Maybe also as BHC, we should note that at BHC we have what we call rentals. As I said, we have around 10,000 units. In as much as currently the country doesn't much have a rental act or a rental control act, it should be noted that at Botswana Housing Corporation, our rentals are kept, and these are at 80% below. We should always be at 80%, which means we are 20% below the market. And that alone shows you that as BHC, we are saying there is a market that is not yet ready to purchase units. However, we see that they will transit as time goes on, maybe get into the sale market. However, as BHC, we have to cater for them and ensure that they are renting at affordable prices. There are other schemes that I think we should also be knowing of that relates to issues like SHA, where we have now from 2012, 2013, when the government directed that Botswana Housing Corporation, BHC, should now be a single housing authority. And that meant for us as Botswana Housing Corporation to ensure that that which the government is doing, because when it comes to the administrative part and everything is done at government, we are the implementers ensuring that we build the units for the very lower income earners. So as BHC, I would say we have taken the issue of affordable housing seriously, in as much as even when you see in our vision, we say we are the leading provider of housing solutions for dignified lives. Hence why I was starting saying when you speak of affordability, we speak into dignified lives. We do not want you not to be left behind.